I'm Reen Schwarzer, and you're listening to the Giant Sword Podcast. Microphones, activate!
Hello, and welcome to this week's Giant Sword Podcast. I'm your party leader, Nick Lynn. Joining me, as always, is Taylor Hoyt.
What up?
And Shadow Elite.
How you guys doing? What's up?
How's everyone been?
Pretty okay.
Pretty okay. It's been crazy over here in California with God and Ramu smiting it, but it was
the fires. Are you guys safe over there down in the Bay?
I mean, our area is, but there's people evacuating around the Bay Area.
Isn't like Santa Cruz pretty bad, or at least Scotts Valley?
Scotts Valley is, but yeah. Okay, I don't know if you knew this, Shadow, or anyone who's listening right now, but California, especially the Bay Area, had this like really crazy lightning storm. It was weird because we have lightning storms, but it's like, you have like a strike every like couple minutes or so. This one was like a strike every few seconds. It literally looked like Rami was being summoned.
Oh, geez.
It was like flash, and it was lasting all night. Like I got up to work at like 2:30. Went to my car. My sister's coming home. She's like, "Nick, it's scary. What's all the flashes over there?" I'm like, "Oh, it's lightning." And I was confused because it looked like the whole night sky was lighting up, but it was doing it so often. I was like, "This really can't be lightning," but it was. It was lightning. And it lasted.
So weird.
It lasted until like 11 a.m. 2 to 11 a.m. It was just constant lightning and flashing,
Wow.
and that created a lot of fires around. I am literally surrounded by fires because I'm in between a bunch of hills and mountains.
That's what all the fires are from, because it was all the lightning. That's so weird.
Yeah, That's what happened because it wasn't like a raining thunderstorm. It was just a dry thunderstorm. So it was a lot of lightning, no rain. So
I gotta admit, I'm looking at some videos right now. This looks awesome.
Yeah, right? It looks so cool. I was watching lightning, and it's like, and then suddenly you just see like a bolt go up, and then suddenly it goes across the sky.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah.
That's intense.
People were worried because it was supposed to happen again today. Didn't happen, luckily.
That's good.
It looks like Silent Hill outside because of all the smoke.
Mm.
So, like right now, the wind is blowing into the bay, so all the smoke is going into it. So right now, it's all foggy or all smoky and like very dense and ashy. It's interesting. This happens every year in California, though. There's always a wildfire, and there's always a couple weeks where it's just smoky and smelly. But this is like a big one because there's a bunch of them all over the state. So that's been fun. Fun. But let's move on to some news, some actual JRPG funness. Falcom to reveal information on the next title on August 27th, which is in a couple days. Probably it's going to be happening when the podcast is out. This episode's out.
What title?
They just said the next title. We just don't know. What do you want? Like, really, what do you want?
I'll take another Ys game.
Another Ys game? Ys 10 already?
Yeah, because Ys 9 has been out in Japan for like a year almost now, right?
Yeah, it's been
Just
been a while.
Something like that, yeah.
So it should be an Ys game. It better not be a Legend of Heroes game.
Didn't they already say they were working on the next one after Hajimari, or is that?
I think they're.
Or was that it?
I think they said they are, and They also said that in Hajimari, they have like a scene where it shows off the new engine. So I think they're making a new engine.
They should, because like I'm already tired of the Cold Steel 3 engine. I'm like, yo, y'all reuse this for 3 games now. All y'all doing is basically copy and paste and shit at this point. Because like I usually don't even look at like new games I know I'm gonna play, but I did look at Hajime trailer. And I'm like, this is basically Cold Steel 3. Yeah. This is all it is. You literally looked at from Cold Steel 3 and did this. I'm like, yes, I'm interested in the story and very interested in the characters, but I'm like, this is the same thing. So I'm like, I'm hyped, and at the same time, I'm not really all that hyped for it. Especially since like I don't know if it's like a solid continuation or just some I guess, third chapter nonsense.
I think.
We gotta talk about third chapter.
All right, we'll talk about third chapter and what we've been playing. Yeah, Hajimari. I don't know much about it. I haven't looked at it because it's only a Japanese only game right now, and I just know that the main characters are Reen, Lloyd, and C. Those are the main. Those are the protagonists. So, Taylor, you would not know any of those characters except for Reen, but
I mean, I know who Lloyd is. I don't know anything about him, but I know he's the guy from Crossbell.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so I was like, I wonder if this might be a third chapter thing. We don't know.
I ain't gonna lie, I'm not looking forward to that. I don't, yo. I'll just say this for now. Third chapter is my least favorite Trails game.
Tails.
Wow.
And I never said that about any Trails game that I played. I've liked them all. This one, the third chapter, I'm like, it's a slog. We'll get to it when I'm not playing.
All right. Taylor, what would you want this to be? I have an idea. I know which one you want.
Well, I tweeted it out. I want it to be Tokyo Xanadu 2. I don't think that's going to happen, but that's what I'm hoping.
I was just happy to see that people are actually saying that. They're like, I want this to be a Xanadu game, another Xanadu game. I'm like, yes.
I wouldn't mind it being another Xanadu game because as much as I don't care for Tokyo Xanadu because I found it extremely boring and extremely just bleh. I tried to play it like maybe a couple months ago. I tried to play it. I was like, nah, I can't. This is so boring. But I think a sequel will do it justice. They'll do more things with it, and like the battle system will be less. I want to say cookie cutter because I was thinking to myself while I was playing the battle system, like I'd rather be playing the easy game.
Yeah, it's like that's my like elevator pitch is like it's Persona meets Ease without as big of a budget. It's like the combat is not quite as good as Ease, but it's like serviceable. So okay, so now I'm curious. What about Xanadu did you find boring? Was it because the combat wasn't as good, or was it something about the story? Or
it was I'm gonna say it was a little bit leaning towards the story. The story I just didn't care for because it seemed like it seemed mad generic.
And I mean, it's like, almost pulled right from Persona, pretty much, right? Like,
well, I wouldn't say that at all, actually. But because I got to a part where you're recruiting this hacker guy who's basically Futaba, just like him, and I'm like, I do not care about this guy at all. I don't care about his problems. I don't care about anything. It's really generic. Like, and the enemies is like it's like a yeast game. You just switch back and forth between characters. It just doesn't feel as fluid. It just doesn't feel as it doesn't have that edge to it at all. To me, at least. I don't know.
I totally get what you're saying because at the beginning of the game, you don't have like any of the cool things that you could get at the near when you play through the game. So the battles are very stiff, and you feel like you can barely do anything. So I totally understand that. But once it's like you start upgrading and it starts feeling a lot more like Ease, and it's not as constricting. And you could make some busted characters like with Sora. Oh my gosh, Sora.
Yeah, I mean, the thing I liked about it was that like even though you're right, I agree that the combat's not nearly as good as Ease. I think there's always something to do in the dungeons because there's always some kind of puzzle or those boxes you have to break, and even though there's nothing to do there, I guess my dopamine brain, it's like, oh, something to hit and break, and I get a thing out of it. Like I can't help but like go around the room and get them all. And then like of like each boss is like weak to a certain character, so you have to constantly be swapping or whatever. Yeah.
That's another thing. I like the switching was weird to me too. It was like, press L1 to switch or press triangle to switch with somebody outside of battle. Because like with these games, you could switch between 3 characters on the fly. In Tokyo Xanadu, you only have 2 characters, and then you gotta swipe the other one in or something like that.
Yeah, I didn't understand that. That was weird. I don't know why they did it like that.
Yeah,
I forgot the reason why. I think like if you're out, they heal. I'm not 100%. I don't remember.
I don't remember. That was a strange choice for sure.
Yeah, I'm just gonna say I think a sequel could really help that series because I do want to see another game like it, just better.
Well, in the what's it called? The after story, which is the like third ending. It hints at a next like a sequel because there's still things that they haven't explained. And then it says like at the end that see you in the next Xanadu. So hopefully they are making another one. And with the same characters. And you are correct about how it feels generic because this game is just anime tropes the game.
And usually, I don't have a problem with generic. I just, if it's executed right, I'm cool with it. But this one just seemed, and especially it doesn't help at the game's in Japanese,
Mm-hmm.
which I resonate a little bit more towards a dub. But when you're this generic and, dare I say, boring, I just can't get behind it. I just can't get behind it.
But then you realize that he really loves his sister and he wants to help his sister, and that's why he's doing all this stuff. But he's too proud that to show that he loves his sister. But then he has to rescue his sister. Gee, it's all that crazy stuff. It's so generic. It's so funny. You remember his sister was like the typical Oni-chan.
I think this game and Tokyo Xanadu and Caligula Effect are in like the same like level or same vein when it comes to being like a unique JRPG, but just not that captivating.
I think
like a sequel would really help.
It has the problem of Cold Steel 1 and Ease 9, no Ease 8, where they're all Vita games, and they've been all upscaled.
Yeah.
So it feels like a Vita game. Like they didn't have. That's why it feels really cheap at a couple times.
You might be right about that. Yeah, I think if it was a more of a console game, they would have more liberty in movement. They would have been able to do more things. Yeah, it probably would have been a lot better if it wasn't a Vita game. I can only imagine how it ran on Vita. Yo.
It was not good. I heard stories that the English Vita version is not good at all. Get the PS4 version.
Yep.
Because it has all that extra stuff and it runs better.
It runs good. Yeah.
And apparently the translation's even better as well.
That's weird.
Yeah, right?
Well, I guess they're different games, so I guess that makes sense. Or semi-different games.
And it's translated by Axis, I think.
Axis Games, yeah.
That game was, one thing I can tell you about Tokyo Xanadu, one of the best Falcom soundtracks.
That, I even tweeted about this. That was the reason I started playing, because every time I would come over to do the podcast, you always had the soundtrack playing. And I was like, all right, I got to get around to play. I just got to play this. It was the soundtrack that got me to play it, of all things, which was really weird.
It was a fun, I love the soundtrack.
It's good.
And it has Toa. I mean, come on. Toa's a teacher. Can't go wrong with that.
Well, she's also a teacher in Cold Steel 3.
So. Oh, okay. Yeah. Well.
Even I know that, Nick. Come on.
I know that too, but first, Toa is always student council president, all right?
That's true. It's true.
All right, let's move on to a little topic, since we'll see what that's all about. It's probably going to be some like weird ass game that we have no idea what it is and we don't care about. Yeah. But, it's good. It's good to hope. Okay. So how excited are you to play Genshin Impact that's coming out in September? It's coming out in September on PC, Android, and I think not PS4. PS4 is coming out in October, right?
Right. They gave it a fall release window.
Yeah. So are you gonna play it on PC, or are you gonna?
That's I don't know, because I want to play it on PS4 just because it's so much more convenient, but I don't know if it's gonna run well. So I'm like, do I wait and hope that the PS4 version runs well, or do I build my character up on PC where I know it's gonna run well? So that's tough. I'm not sure.
You should build your own PC. If Connor could do it, you can.
I mean, you know what I've been doing is I have an editing laptop, and I've just been playing on that, and then I plug in an HDMI cable to the TV. So it's not been a big problem. So I'm like, I wonder how good I might download a bunch of old games and see how well it can run them. Because if it can run other games well, then I might just play it on PC.
What about you, Shadow? Are you going to play it on PC at that time?
I'm definitely going to play it on PC, absolutely. But I'm a little bit lukewarm about this game. I got to see what it has to offer, because I did play the beta, and I did like it for the most part. It's just it's a free-to-play game. So I'm looking forward to seeing how that free-to-play factors in to the gameplay.
How How far did you play into the beta out of curiosity?
I did a little bit after I got out of the initial shrines. I did do a little bit outside of that, but I didn't play. I didn't play a lot. I'll admit,
Okay.
but
Well,
I did like what I played. I did like it.
for whatever it's worth, I played about 20-ish hours, and only then did I really start seeing the grind appear. And so what happens at that point is there are these new dungeons that start popping up. Because like I'm sure you noticed, like you hit level caps for your weapons and your gear and stuff, and you need items to feed into them to increase the level cap. Like, did you get that far?
No, I didn't get that far.
Okay, well that's what happens. That's kind of where the free play mechanics come in. And so once you get past the first tier, the second tier you need to go into specific dungeons to get those items. And those dungeons have like an energy timer, like you can only go into those so many times a day or whatever. But for whatever it's worth, I only needed to run them like maybe 3 or 4 times each to get the stuff I needed. So beyond that, I don't know, but you can look at probably 25 hours and not pay a dime, and you can have fun. But I'm sure,
Yeah.
like most, it's all about rolling the characters you want, because you're given a few, but then as you're playing, you save up enough of the currency to get like one roll maybe. So yeah, that would be the only thing, is how badly do you want those other characters, because you don't get them through the story as far as I know.
It seems like you made an interesting point that it's like it seemed like you'll get a solid 25 hours out of the game, but then it's like that's when the grind starts hitting. But that's not what I want. I don't want 25 hours and then like, oh, it's the grind. I don't feel like purchasing stuff. I don't feel like rolling the gacha. Nah, I want a full force game. That's why I was thinking like leading up to this game, I was getting the normal JRPG. But no, this is free to play, so we know that gacha is going to come into factor. It's going to factor in soon. We know that, like you said, the dungeon timers are going to factor in. How long you're going to be able to do it? How many times you're going to be able to do it? So I just predict to hit a wall, and I'm not going to be able to finish it like I would a normal game.
I mean, that is the right answer. It would have been better for it not to have been a free to play game.
Well, that's what that developer makes.
Yeah, like I never played a whole lot of Honkai. Did you ever play that on mobile?
I did play Honkai Impact a little bit, and then I played it on PC when it came out on PC. And I was like, yo, this is a great presentation. This looks like a really good game, but it's a mobile game, and they're hiding all the characters behind the paywall. And I'm like, I want to use this character, can't use her, gotta shell out some money for her. I was like, it just sucks. And the thing about it is they're promoting Genshin Impact like it's just a regular game. You see it at like events, like it's just we're gonna come out. This game is a normal $60 game. Like, no, fam.
That I think that's the thing I disagree with most, is especially because they had it in the last state of play for PlayStation.
Yep.
Is people like, oh, this game looks so awesome, and then every once in a while you'll see a comment that's like, it's free to play, guys. So I just wish they would be a little bit more honest with that, so at least people know what they're getting into, because that sucks that if people are getting deceived. But I don't. Time will tell on that,
because that's how you get people in the gacha. You get new people who know nothing about it. You get them to start playing the game, then they realize, oh, I really like this game. I can spend some money on it, no problem. And then before you know it, they're $100 in, $200 in, $280 in.
I know a lot of people like that. I know so many people like that. It's crazy.
That's how they get you.
So here's my thing though. I'm almost always against that. Like when it comes to free to play games, like with Dragalia Lost, like that game really never forces you to buy anything. Like you could play that game perfectly fine, never pay a dime, and you'd be happy to play it, never paying any money. But if you want some new characters, if you want to go a little bit faster, then that helps. To me, this strikes me as the first game where I'd be happy to pay the money, because I had so much fun with the beta that I'm like, yeah, you know what? I'll toss you 10, 15, 20 bucks to roll some characters. What the hell? Now I know that's not probably the minority opinion, but I just had such a fun time with it that I'd be willing to toss some money, especially if they keep updating with new content.
I definitely agree with that. If you're playing the game enough and you like it enough, go ahead and spend money on it. I really don't blame you on that. I mean, I do that for a free-to-play game myself, 8 Grand Order. Like, I love that game pretty much. And when I want a unit, I'll spend money to get it. But like we've been saying, this game been advertised as a full console game, but it's not. And like I said, I don't like playing the game that I think it's like a console game, and I'm not going to be able to finish it. You seem okay with maybe spending like maybe 25 or 30 hours into the game, and maybe not finishing it at all, and maybe you'll just pick it up later when you get back. You'll get back to it later and come back. That seems to be cool with you. I don't know, but for me, that really is not going to work for me.
Hey, let me just ruin that game for you. Cold Steel 4 comes out the day before.
Oh, man,
Actually, forget that then.
that quote unquote don't really affect me.
Oh yeah, because you get it early.
I'll have it a little bit earlier, and I'll play the game Genshin Impact when it comes out.
There you go. So here's what you're talking about. Like, oh, I'd be okay with putting 25 hours and not finishing it. I gotta say, this is like this mythical, like Genshin Impact is this mythical game that I've been looking for forever and not finding. I've been looking for a game like a Diablo, like a Path of Exile, where I can just hop in for a few hours, have some fun combat, make some progress, turn it off and come back later. And they're just, every time I play those kind of games, it doesn't really do it because it is so loot based. But this has the added factor of it being like, there is some story, there's like exploration, there's new things to unlock. So to me, this is like the mythical game I've been looking forward to for a while. And it might be just like you said, one of those games where I'll play a couple hours a week here and there, come back, oh, new content. All right, I'll play maybe 10 hours or whatever. But this strikes me as the kind of game that I'll just keep coming back to. Now, would it have been better if it was like a 40-hour finish? There's a story end at some point. Yeah, probably. But I don't know. I'm giving this game a weird sense of leeway for some reason, and I don't know why.
It's the waifu. It's the waifus.
I mean, the waifus are all right. I mean, they're okay. You can't change their outfits or their armor or anything like that. And you don't even start... One of the guys you start with is a guy, so it's not all waifus, but the combat's good. I like the combat. Combat's fun.
Combat's really good. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I'll see what it's like, but I don't think I'm going to play it outside of the first couple of weeks. And I'll just be like, I'm done. I don't think I'm ever actually finish the story.
Do you ever finish the story on mobile games that you play?
For Fate Grand Order, there's always like new stories popping up. So yeah, technically I did finish Fate Grand Order and finish it all up to the current content.
Did you finish the Dragalia Lost story, Taylor?
Yes, but I never played it for the story. It was all for the gameplay. I didn't care what was happening. So,
yeah, that's true. Yeah.
I always just skipped past it because like it, like with mobile games, like you finish the story and then you go back, you play the same missions on hard. So at some point you just turn your brain off. I will say though that they're pretty good about seasonal events, and I imagine with how much money Fate Grand Order makes, they probably do seasonal events too. But like the seasonal events were really cool.
Yeah, they just got done with the summer event for Fate Grand Order.
Oof, so the best one.
Yeah, I know that was the best one. Like, yeah, it was great for like the waifus and whatnot. Don't get me wrong, but like it was actually a pretty cool story. I enjoyed it. It was pretty funny. It was like a convention arc or something like that.
Oh, interesting.
They were trying to get like a manga done for the convention, but it kept looping over and over again each week. It was cool.
That's kind of unique, huh?
Yeah,
it's Groundhog's Day.
Yeah, basically, yeah. That's how it was. It was pretty fun.
Nice.
All right.
What about you, Nick? Are you interested in that at all?
I don't know.
It's free to play. You could just jump on it or jump into it.
But I have the problem of it coming out right after Cold Steel 4.
Yeah, you're probably gonna prioritize Cold Steel. That's right.
Okay, that's true. So, maybe you could play for like an hour a day and then play 8 hours of Cold Steel, and then do the same thing the next day.
Okay. Call in sick for the next week.
That's what a friend of mine is trying. Well, I don't think she's trying to do that. She's trying to take off like 2 weeks for Cold Steel 4.
Oh, I got the COVID. I think I got a quarantine for 2 weeks.
Sometimes I wish, but no. Okay, did I do that? Can you believe that The Legend of Heroes Hajimari no Kiseki is coming out this week in Japan? Just can you believe that? I was looking. Whenever I see news of that about that game, I think it's like years off.
Yeah,
It's coming out next week.
There's a reason it's not years off because all they're really doing is copy and paste and shit.
Yeah. Reusing assets.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, Falcom, they're not a big studio, but they turn games around really quickly.
True. Yeah, that's true. I'm not saying that as a shot against them. I just that's the reason why it's coming out.
No, I mean, it makes sense. I mean, it's same thing with Rise with the Atelier games. I mean, they put out one of those a year. You know, they're like the Madden of JRPGs at this point.
Absolutely. And then it doesn't help that not only are they relosing like assets and like characters and stuff like that, but they're also reusing like cutscene camera angles. It's like the same camera angles they use for each game when they introduce a character. It's the weirdest thing. Like a panning shot of the city. It's like
I
mean, they do that. They do that for every 3D game now. Like every single one, every Ys game, or the new Ys games, the new Trails games, and even Tokyo Xanadu. They all do that.
Yeah.
They're talking and suddenly the game stops and it's like slowly pans up, and then they start talking again. It's like, oh, come on.
And I'm not like I'm pretty sure we're gonna get Hajimari probably next year, but I'm not hyped for it. Unless Cold Steel 4 blows me out the water, I'm not hyped for Hajimari. I can wait to play it.
Yeah, I'm hyped for Ys 9, so I don't really care.
I have no
Unless
idea.
Adol is in the game randomly, which would be crazy, but he's not. I know he's not.
He's just there. I'm here to make the blue-haired girl fall in love with me and then leave her in the dust and kill the god.
I mean, they could be in the same universe. There was, Legend of Heroes versus Ys, that fighting game.
And there was also that Falcom fighting game tease in Tokyo Xanadu. Oh my gosh.
Wait, was there?
Yeah. I don't know if you got this scene, but one of the scenes that you get for when you buy a certain decoration for your room, I think it's a game console. Two of the guys come over and they're playing a game. And if you look on the screen, it's a tag team fighting game picture. Like it looks like a tag team fighting game. A 2D one, and you see like Lloyd versus Reen versus Adol and someone else that I couldn't see, and it was like in 2D, and I'm like, where's that game? I want that game.
Dang, that'd be crazy.
All right, I want to hear Shadow's grievances with Trails in the Sky 3.
Okay, so it's just that I'm not into breaking up my gameplay segments. I don't like just suddenly going into a star door and spending like a half hour almost to an hour going through a cutscene.
My god.
It really breaks it up, because this one that I just recently went through, I was just like, this has anything to do with the main story? I don't know. It was like a little girl and her dragon. I'm like, what does this have to do with the story? I was like, I don't care about this orphanage at all. And then like there are some, well, I just got to a gameplay spike, which didn't make any sense to me, because I was keeping up my equipment, I was buying everything, keeping up with the quartz, and I was destroying just normal mobs easily, 1 or 2 hits. And then I come across this boss that suddenly he's got mobs with him that just like have a ton of HP, and they hit like a tank, and they're hard to like do any damage to. I'm like, that is not good balancing at all. Because like that's the first boss I ran into on this one. I think I died to that boss twice, and I didn't even do anything different. I just had to I had to realize what they were doing with their little AOE wind spells. They had to target one at a time, so that really got me annoyed. But I feel like this game it's not really adding much so far to Trails. I mean, I'm pretty sure it does, but I feel like I really feel like at this point I could say that, yo, I don't need to play this game. I could have just looked on YouTube and just viewed the cutscenes and just saw Star Door 15.
Which
That would have
Star?
been
Oh yeah, which Star Door was the one with the dragon girl?
I have no clue. I don't know which one that was.
And I do think the orphanage is actually very. Oh wait, I don't know which orphanage you're talking about.
Yeah, it was the orphanage that like Joshua and Estelle was at, and they helped out these little kids. And there was one girl, she got lost, and the dragon found her. I was like, "Who is this dragon? Is this dragon the same dragon that saved them at the end of second?" Is that a spoiler? That's probably a spoiler.
Nah, it probably is.
Yeah,
but
You've had your time. Come on.
yeah, exactly.
Well, they don't know how he saves them, so
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, but like, yeah, they saved them at the end of the second chapter. But like, I'm not sure if that was the same dragon.
so
But
what third chapter is you have Kevin's story, and all those star doors are just world building star doors, and then there's some that are just like really out there. Like there's a story about Gambler Jack, which is
yes,
like,
that one that killed me. I'm like, yo, what does this have to do with anything? I don't care for gambling. I went immediately to my a guy called Riku-san. I went immediately to this guy because he's like the Falcom aficionado. I'm like, yo, does this cutscene have anything to do with anything? And I was like, he was like, yeah, it kind of does. I was like, you know what? I don't care. Skip. I'm not playing blackjack. I'm not playing any of this stuff. Skip it. I don't care, yo. You're breaking it up. It's like this should be the shortest one, but at the same time, it feels like the longest one. Like I'm getting the feeling that 30-hour playtimes, people just skipping those side stories.
no, it's still pretty short. There's some of the star doors are awesome. Like the one with I don't know if you got it yet, but there's one with Olivier, and he's talking to the Chancellor.
Oh no, I didn't get to that one.
That one's amazing.
He's talking to Osborne.
Yeah, it's a really awesome. It's like, okay, this adds to Cold Steel. That is just like that is just hinting at Cold Steel.
Okay, so yeah, like stuff like that, I would definitely sit down and watch and read. But
there's some there's some that are just like what.
And then there was one where they were just explaining like orbital technology. I'm like, bro, I already know about all the orbits and how like it was like the industrial revolution. I know how it was like. I got that.
Yeah,
I'm like, I don't need to do this.
Yeah, that all the Star Doors is just world building. That's all. I mean, it's a world building the game. That's what in the sky is. Something that's what Taylor does not like. But that's
this sounds like my worst nightmare. If Shadow doesn't like it, I would hate it.
You don't even need to do the Star Doors. You could skip them. It's just they're just there to add context to the world and show like scenes that you will not see. Like I think there was a scene where I don't really want to spoil it, but there's stuff with Estelle and Joshua. You get some good character moments during the story. I don't know where you are in the story, but it gets really intense when you figure out what Kevin's all about.
Yeah, there was an interesting Star Door with the Joshua and the princess.
Yeah,
I forgot her name, but that was a really like nice, lighthearted one, and I really enjoyed that one. But there are just some Star Doors, man, that I just like. I feel guilty for skipping them, but I'm like, I'm skipping this. Like nobody told me it was gonna be like this.
Did you get the arena battle yet?
Yeah, I got that. Yeah.
Isn't the cover art amazing?
I remember how the cover art looks because I got that a while ago. Can't remember that one.
So it's all it's a lot of characters from the game, and they're all in JoJo art.
Oh, maybe I didn't get that one.
Ugh.
Oh no, wait! I think I did. Yeah, I did the first arena battle. I gotta look at it.
Like every character looks like a JoJo character, and freaking Kevin is like
weird.
Kevin's eyes are like on fire, and he's all buff, and he has his crossbow.
Oh yeah,
really
yeah.
It's
okay,
so
yeah,
funny.
Yeah.
So
but
good.
yeah, it's just that it's a slog. It feels like a slog to me. It feels like a drag. Like every time I get to these star doors, I'm bored out of my mind. I just want to skip it. I'm like, yo, just get to the next story segment, man. I don't care. And then like sometimes, which it's not a problem because the leveling system, I think it's like some type of progression system that allows characters you haven't been using for a while if you do a few battles with them, they'll level up. But now I'm at a place where I need certain characters, and I gotta switch them into the party and fight a little bit and level them up. It's kind of annoying to do that and outfit them with the appropriate course. Because if you just
if I recall, you're going to hate the end of the game then. If I recall, you're gonna have to you have to create like 3 parties of every single and use every single character.
Yeah, there's like a lot of characters in this game too, which is pretty cool. It's just that, man, managing them is going to be annoying. Like you said, at the end, I'm going to have to build an entire party, which the leveling system's not bad. Like I said, a couple of battles, everybody's up to snuff because everybody was level 125, the ones I was using constantly, and then they said, "Oh, bring Chloe with you. She's level 100." And like I had to do a couple of battles to get her up to like level 118. It wasn't too bad. But you definitely got.
You can go past the level 100 in this game.
Yeah, because they continue.
Yeah, because this is the 3rd game, so they're all just super powerful.
Yeah, they're all really powerful. So yeah, like the second game ended on them being level 80 or 90 or something like that. So they went up past 100 this time around.
Are you enjoying the core story? Like, forget the Star Doors. Is like the core story good?
Well, Kevin and whatnot, so far it's pretty eh.
I don't know where you're at. Like,
I just got to the part where Kevin, I'll just say Kevin kind of broke because something happened to someone near and dear to him. So he kind of broke.
Did he?
And then like he was outside the party for a little bit.
Oh yeah. But you haven't seen him go Reen, did you?
Not yet, no.
Okay. Sorry if that was a minor spoiler. But
I don't matter.
It's not exactly going Reen, but it's something similar.
Wait a minute, does he have the same ogre power? Oh wait, let me stop. Let me stop thinking about it.
That's why it's interesting, because you see that shit. You're like, what the fuck is going on here?
I get the feeling I'm coming up on that. So yeah, I think low key, it's also because I'm playing on Vita. I think if I was playing on my PC, I would probably be able to get through it because I could fast forward a lot of things.
Oh yeah. I played it on PC.
Yeah. And, that's another thing. I do not like the art for the evolution.
Yeah,
I thought I would like it. I thought I would love it. I hate it. I hate it so much. I like, this does not transition well. I don't know if it's just the art style hate or I've just been used to the, original art style. Now, this art style, I just hate it, man. I just hate it completely, especially Kevin. God, I hate Kevin's portrait. Hey, this is our main character. Like, I hate the way this art style is. This art style sucks. It might be cool when I play the Crossbell games because I think it's the same art style. But man, do I hate this art style for this. It's I guess it's jarring.
Is it not the same as like the original PSP one? I'm looking at it on Steam, or did you add stuff to it?
No, the Evo versions have new art. Has the I think the Crossbell art style, and it looks off. Like I don't because it doesn't look like the originals, and it has new music as well.
Yeah, the music is fine. The music is great. Don't get me wrong. The music. It's just the character portraits that I've known from day one over the years suddenly be changed to this, and it doesn't look good. It's just like, how can you mess this up so badly? This artist is terrible. It's like just one complaint about the art. It's that everybody's faces look chubby. Yeah. It's weird. Huh. I'm like,
I'm posting this in chat just to make sure we're talking about the same thing. Is it?
I'm trying to find good stuff. See,
that's
what it kind of looks like.
I think
that looks
this
good.
Looks better. Yeah, it might be the same. It might not be the same artist.
I'm trying to find it.
Because there's like the old one, and then there's the evolution, and then there's like an in between art style that people seem to not like. From what I understand,
yeah, the evolution is what a lot of people do not like because it just looks weird. I'm trying to find. I can't find it.
Yeah, let me see if I can find it myself. It's.
Oh, no, this isn't it. I don't think. I don't know.
I don't know, and I don't care.
Like that's how Kevin looks, and then like look,
Oh yeah, huh? It's like a weird in between style. Yeah, that doesn't look great.
it's weird. And let me show you how Kevin looks in second chapter. It's just like that don't look like my Kevin. That don't look like my guy. Like what happened here, man? Why does he look so chubby in the face like he don't care? I can't even find it.
Yeah, this is
I
what,
just can't even.
this is what Estelle this is what Estelle looks like in Crossbow.
Yeah, that's fine. That art style is fine. I can mess with that art style. It's this new art style that looks terrible. It just I don't know what they were doing with this, man. Like yeah, okay, yeah, like let me shoot this. I think this is the same artist from Trigun actually.
That's interesting.
Yeah, that's how Kevin like always looked to me.
Yeah, that's the original art style.
Yeah, that looks fine. I don't know what they were doing with the evolutionary art style.
I mean,
I don't know.
that is definitely Vash to Stampede.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's definitely Bash. But this new art style it just doesn't. It just don't look right to me.
So what you got to do is you got to start over on the PC.
Yo, Nick, low key, I was thinking about it.
Really?
I was thinking about it low key. I was like, you know what? If I just dedicate a day and I just skip everything, I could probably do it within a day. I was thinking about doing it too, but since my friend of mine, he took the time. I sent him my Vita. He did some stuff to my Vita, and he put the games on there. So I said, you know what? I can't just give this up. I can't just do them like this. And
so
then
are you playing a different version? You're not playing like the official Xseed release or whatever?
No, he's playing the evil version with translation.
Got it.
Yeah, he's got sick art.
Now, if that was the art for the game, I would be like, yo, that's Kevin. That's my guy Kevin. But that first one I picked, I don't know who this man is. Like, whose man is this? Yeah, that's on me. Maybe it's a minor gripe for me. Maybe I'm just being a little bit dramatic. I don't know.
Now, I know a lot of people don't like the evil art, so
Evil art sucks.
Taylor, what have you been playing, if anything, other than Fall Guys?
That's really it. I got a game for a review. I've never seen a company do this before. Maybe you have, Shadow, but they gave me a game and they're like, yeah, the embargo is not for like 3 weeks. I'm like, sweet, or like 2 weeks. So I had plenty of time to play it. And they're like, oh, just kidding. We're moving the embargo up a week. I'm like, that is terrible because now I have one less week to play it.
Yeah, that's terrible.
I mean, the embargo was a few days ago, so it doesn't really matter. But I got a code for this game called Nexomon Extinction. It's like, as the name implies, it's kind of like a Pokemon-inspired game. It's not bad. It's a little grindy, but I like the art. I like the humor, but yeah, it's a little grindy. I think what makes Pokemon good is because it's a little easy, and like like you do a super effective, and you can almost one shot opposing Pokemon or whatever.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and this one it doesn't one shot them. You probably have to hit them like 3-4 times, something like that.
Wait, is this? Am I looking at? Yeah, it's definitely
it looks like a
Pokemon.
Yeah, I mean it's a budget game. It's fine. It's cool though. I'm having fun playing it on Switch. So I'll have a review out this week for sure.
Yeah, it does look like a Pokemon knockoff. I can only take one Pokemon knockoff, and that's Temtem.
And that Temtem looks cool.
That's Jade Cocoon.
Jade Cocoon.
Wait, is Pokemon a ripoff of Jade Cocoon?
Hey man, which one was more popular? The
more
popular one created history, so the victor makes the history. So
that's right.
Pokemon came first.
Yeah, so they're playing that, and then I got Rogue Legacy came out on early access, but it barely has any content, so it's way hard. They need to balance it. It's way too hard right now.
So you actually bought it? I saw it on the Steam store when I bought Fall Guys. I was gonna ask you, are you playing this?
Yeah, I put in about a dozen hours. It's pretty fun. I mean, the mechanics are good, but I don't know why they didn't just max out the abilities, but like so in the previous one, it'd be something like you can raise your max HP 15 times. Here, you can only do it 5 times, and then it caps, and all these things say like, "Oh, this isn't ready yet, not ready yet." But
So
it's fun.
It's super early then.
Yeah, it's fun though. Like great art style. Controls are good.
Here's the big question: how's the water?
I haven't seen any water. No water yet.
We haven't used that joke in a long time.
I know. There haven't been too many games that have really good water.
What I was really going to ask is, how's the music? Is it actually memorable?
No, I mean I don't know why I don't think they understand what is appealing about their game. So that I think they think their game is like a Castlevania game because it's more like moody and atmospheric more than like action like Mega Man. Like because I feel like it needs like some kind of like upbeat and melodic like Mega Man type music, but it's this very like we're in a haunted castle kind of music. I'm like, this doesn't to me it doesn't work for me.
It needs
So
some 20XX music.
That's right. Do, 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 do. Yeah, so that's they're on the little homepage. It says like they have like a countdown clock for when their next update's supposed to go out. So it's not supposed to be out for another like month or something, but they're at least trying to keep it updated on the regular. So
I'll
keep checking in every once in a while.
Yeah, just don't play it until it's like it gets a couple of updates.
Yeah, I was kind of bummed at how little was in it, but you know, I like the first one. Happy to support them. It was only like I think if you bought it early and you own the previous game, you got it really cheap. So I think I only paid like $12 or something. So, you know,
that's a good thing about early access that you buy it at the early access price and you still get to keep it. You get the full version too.
It's true. It's true. But yeah, mainly been Fall Guys. I think I put in like 20 hours this week, and I put a lot of time into it. It's really fun.
Asian's been playing it right. It's playing it right now.
Yeah, we played it together. We did pairs the other day. He got his first win, so that was fun.
Nice. I haven't played anything. My PSP is still the same exact moment on Valkyrie profile from like the last time from the last episode. So I need to find time to play games.
You gotta help out. Gotta help out your Noble and Harrier.
I do. I like how you talked about it in your episode, your video.
Yeah, that one I tried to be as objective as possible because this isn't like my top 10. These are like if you've never played the PlayStation before, these are like the 10 to start with, and then like go from there. Because the most common comment was like, "Where's Breath of Fire?" And I'm like, "Where it belongs." Okay,
in the trash.
But really though, where's Breath of Fire?
Yeah, right.
Where's Tales of Destiny?
Yeah, it was where's Breath of Fire? Where's Tales of Destiny? I was shocked to see how many Vandal Hearts comments there were, but I'm like, come on, guys, Vandal Hearts, really? I mean, it's a fun game, but it's not top 10. Like, let's get real.
It's memorable. Vandal Hearts 2, I don't think is much, but one is memorable because of the art style, and when you kill someone, a gush of blood comes out.
Yeah, it's pretty great. Yeah, and you know, some of them I put in there too for like historical context. Like, I think some of those are hard to go back to. Like, for example, I included a Vagrant Story. Like that game is probably hard to go back to, but like when you think of the context of when it came out, like it was really different and kind of ambitious. So, you know, I tried to put stuff like that in there. So, and then I'll be going through each system. So I'm sure.
Yeah. So I was watching. And I'm like, this is a game that Taylor doesn't like. Taylor would definitely not like this game. What is this? And I'm like, oh, okay, I get it. He's just throwing games out there.
Yeah, these are like I said, the must play. So when I get to PS3, I'm gonna put Cold Steel on there, even though I don't like it. But so many, there is an objective love for that game that I can recognize. So I'm gonna put it on there, even though I don't like it.
You should just say the Cold Steel series 1 and 2, because you have to play it together.
I guess.
Wait, you talking about the like Cold Steel 1 and 2 came out on PS3 first, right? Or Vita? Or
yeah. It was Vita and PS3 at the same time.
Yeah, you could say you can put both of them in one entry. I don't see why not. Because you really can't play one. If you're gonna play the first one, you're gonna play the second one. But it's up to you.
Unless you drop it.
I don't see how you could drop. I don't see how you can get to the end and just say, "I don't want to play this game. I don't want to play this series anymore." I don't see it like with that ending.
Yeah, I don't know how
well.
either. Well, Taylor did the same thing with in the Trails in the Sky. So,
Well, no. That's different because when Trails in the Sky came out, we had to wait like
10 years, yeah.
yeah. I
Yeah.
played Sky when it came out, so I'm like, oh my god, what happens? And then I just had to wait, and then I just stopped caring by the time the second one came out. So
Loki, that happened to me. I just finished second chapter myself, like a month or two ago, after it came out, like for so long. Like the second chapter has been out for like 8 years or so. It took me until now to finish it. It took too long.
yeah, for sure.
yeah, because it kind of like it disappeared. The series disappeared for 4 years, I think. And people were like, "Where's in the Sky 2?" And then suddenly we just had a Falcom explosion, and now Falcom is like it's like a household name for niche, you know. not
For
really.
JRPG gamers. I
Yeah.
mean, I will say they definitely came on strong this generation. There are, if you look at, I'll say for myself at least, some of the best games of the generation were Falcom games. Like Ease 8 was awesome. Xanadu I really liked, and I'm sure for a lot of people, they'll say Cold Steel 3. So
Yeah, it blew up. You know, it blew up. Persona blew up, and then they both have horrible fandoms. So.
You know what's interesting about fandoms? I think no matter how, like, even if a fandom gets too big, it's automatically gonna start sucking.
I just think fandoms and like you could have a group of friends who are fans, or a group of like people it's the fandoms on like Twitter and Tumblr and all that. It really irks me. Especially, it was like the worst ones I see are Fire Emblem, and Trails, and then whenever there's new Persona news, fandoms are kind of annoying. Trails is kind of annoying because it's just the things they do. It's just so annoying.
they're trying to be like, guys, we're here too. Our thing's awesome. We're the best.
I think it's the fan fiction that really gets me.
Oh, really? I've never seen that, but
it's the stuff. It's like Craftium always retweets this stuff, and it's the text from Crossbell stuff where they're like the characters their characters are on Discord talking. I'm like, who writes this crap? I mean, really, these aren't the characters. I'm sorry, Craft, but it's just I see it and I'm like, I hate this. This is awful.
I find it amusing. I mean, you're right. Like, it doesn't make any sense, but I find it amusing whenever he tweets it.
Yeah, I think it happens when a fan base gets too big. It just automatically becomes toxic.
Big. It's not. Falcons. I don't even think is that big.
Have you seen that that meme format where it's like two soy boys yelling at each other, and then there's two Chads talking to each other? Have you seen that?
Is it the two soy boys are yelling at each other about their fan?
Yeah,
and then the two Chads are just like, we like this game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where it's like Persona 4 better, no, Persona 5's better, and then like on the bottom be like, Nier Automata is great and a quality game. Yes, I agree, or something like that.
It's true.
Yeah,
it's true.
Yeah,
like you can't. You could dislike the game, like dislike games, but you could see why some people like it, and you could see why some people dislike it. Sometimes you just want to make fun of the person who does dislike it, who's currently on the podcast. You know,
right? Like, what kind of moron hates Cold Steel? Like, hates the Trail series.
Hey, I didn't say anything. That's not. I get it. He can like Cold Steel. He can dislike Cold Steel, but he can love Tokyo Xanadu. I give him a pass.
Oh man, how you imagine not liking the Trail series? Like, seriously.
I like all of them. But one thing I can't forgive is liking Tales of Symphonia. Sorry, just can't forgive it.
So wait, tell us again, Nick. Why don't you like that?
No,
Nick, don't please, please don't.
Let's do some questions.
All right.
Okay, Doug. Okay, from Pigeon Senpai, what do you guys think about the fast forward turbo mode function in some JRPGs? Do you make use of it when the game offers it? I love it when I see it as an option, specifically in turn-based games.
Yeah, I think it's particularly useful in older games that are slow or have a high encounter rates. Like that's the only way I was able to beat Final Fantasy IX. I tried replaying that and restarting that game so many times, but finally I played the PS4 version. I think is the one that got me to finish it. And but you know, I feel weird about doing it in games that just come out because it's like that. I don't know if that's how they were intending it. You know, like with Dragon Quest 11, I know the definitive edition has a fast forward function. If it would feel weird to play with it, even though the combat's kind of slow. But I feel like most successful turn-based games have made it so there's something to them where you don't need to do like Persona and Octopath and Bravely Default 2. I feel like you don't need the fast forward, although I think Bravely Default 2 has fast forward. But I like it. To answer the question, I mainly like it for older games. It's nice to just get through the slog.
I mean, I enjoy it. I mean,
Um,
I used it a lot in like the older Trails games, but they don't like it. If it doesn't have it, it doesn't bother me. It's like I could play it and it won't really bother me how slow some of the stuff is. But if it has it, I would use it. You know, if I've seen the same animation multiple times, just skip it a little bit, make it fast forward through it.
Yeah, some games they know that their attack animations or whatever is too slow, so they'll give you an option to skip it. But I do like the turbo mode features in the Trails games. I think going forward, even new Trails games are gonna have a turbo mode, right? I think Hajimari is gonna have one.
Really, I don't. I think only us Westerners are getting have got the turbo mode.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Okay.
I think Xseed is the one that makes it, that adds it to the game. I'm not sure. Xseed, Nipponichi. I don't know if that's true. That's all I know. Because I usually like when reading about it, it's usually the Xseed or Nippon saying, "Oh, we added turbo mode." It's not from the game itself for the developers. So I don't know.
It's a weird thing because I would welcome turbo mode in most games, but I feel they're definitely not needed in newer ones. Like if the next Persona game comes out, I don't need it to have a turbo mode at all because the battle should flow nicely. But like, because I'm gonna discuss this in an upload I'm doing soon. If it's like a 10-year-old game, there's no reason it shouldn't have it shouldn't have a fast forward feature. Like if you're remastering, I don't know, the Xenosaga games or the Shadow Hearts games, you definitely should have a fast forward mode. There's no real reason why you shouldn't. It should be easy to do.
You mentioned Shadow Hearts. I want to play it now. Dang it, Shadow.
I gotta dig out that box from the garage.
Oh, the 5 boxes.
Yeah, older games, remasters, quote unquote remakes, whatever, they should have a fast forward option without a doubt. If it doesn't, that's a huge problem. But modern games, they don't need it. I'm not gonna miss it if it doesn't have it. But like I said, they should know, like the creators, developers should know if like attacks are going on too long, they'll give you the option to skip it. Like I think for the longest time, like Disgaea didn't have an option to just flat out skip attack animations if they were on. Like if the attack animations are on, you just couldn't skip them outright. But I think in Disgaea 5, even if you put the attack animations to be on, you can just press the button to skip them. So you can view whatever attack animations you want. So yeah.
That I think is different than fast forwarding because some games it's like fun to watch the attack animation like the first handful of times, and then it's like, all right, this is crazy. Like Fairy Tail. Like with Fairy Tail, the attack animations, there's so many and they go forever. It's like, all right.
I didn't even know you could turn off the attack animations of Fairy Tail.
The button is super, like the menu prompt is super subtle. It's like in the corner. Like unless you're looking for it, you're not going to find it.
Oh, okay. But yeah, like you said, in Fairy Tail, like it was cool to view it like in the beginning of the game. But then as I started getting towards the end, I was like, it's annoying.
you know what games need turbo buttons? Tony Hawk Pro Skater and Tails.
What? Tony Hawk.
Tony Hawk. I don't know about Tony Hawk. But Trails or Tails?
Tails. Imagine having a turbo button while playing Tails.
Yeah, that'd be crazy.
It's not needed because the battle's actiony.
speaking of Tony Hawk, I know this is not a JRPG, but are you getting that, or is that a no JRPG policy for new Nick?
No, that's a nostalgia overload kind of game, and I need it.
Okay.
And I love Tony Hawk Pro Skater, so I gotta play it.
Gotta get it.
I'm still getting a PS5, guys. I mean, come on.
Day one?
Day one, yeah. Because I need it to replace my PS4 because my PS4 has disc problems.
Are you gonna trade in your PS4?
No, I know GameStop. I'm not gonna do that.
No.
Wingy Chef asks, is frame rate part of graphics or user experience?
Part of graphics. Moving on.
Yeah, there you go.
But no, seriously, if frame rate is tied to graphics. Like, if the graphics are too extensive, they might interfere with the frame rate.
Yeah.
And it's going to make it worse or make your experience worse. And I'll say this, if you can't tell the difference between 30 frames and 60 frames, you really need your eyes checked. You really do, because it's a huge difference. 60 frames is superior. I know that's what he was talking about, but yeah, frame rate is.
You guys on your 60 frames per second.
Different, man.
Gosh, I'm
you know what's
120
funny
here.
120, please. You know what's funny is I think people think they can't see the difference. So like, okay, so I'm gonna tell a little side story for a second. So we had a filming. So I have a video company with a buddy, and we had this guy that was joining us on a shoot. They went off and filmed the thing on their own, and it was a disaster. So we came back and we had to go look through the camera and make sure the settings were right. And so I was like, yeah, I don't know what you guys were doing, but the thing was all bad. And like, I don't even know if we can tell. And I'm like, watch. And so I changed the setting, and they were like, holy shit. Like, it's very obvious. Like, if you see it side by side, or if you like flip a switch, it should be obvious.
Oh, especially in film, because the 30 frames, this looks natural I don't know why it looks natural for 30 frames. But 60 frames in film, it looks like really weird, like odd. It looks like a sitcom, or not sitcom. What's it
Soap
called?
opera.
Soap opera. There you go. Because they're all in 60 frames. It just looks off.
Yeah, it's weird because like there's a movie I think on 4K or it's just on Blu-ray, Gemini Man with Will Smith, and they shot that whole film in like 60 frames, and at the same time it looks good, but at the same time it looks weird. I don't get that at all. I don't know. I don't know how it transitions from game to movie.
Yeah.
In that same way, I am like that with like big budget cinematic games. So like when Naughty Dog put out The Last of Us remastered on PS4, they had a performance or frame rate mode. So you could have it be higher resolution, but 30 frames or 30 frames and it doesn't look as good. And it was really weird to play that game in 60 frames per second. Because that game is so like cinematic and it's more about the story. I almost prefer games like that to be 30. But if it's like an action game or a JRPG or something, it doesn't really matter. But if it's trying to go for hyper realism, 60 looks weird for me, at least.
What about games that play in 60, but then when it goes in the cutscenes, it turns into 30?
That is bizarre.
Is that jarring for you?
It is. I don't know why they do that.
They do that in Mortal Kombat.
Strange. There's a lot of games that do that. I don't get it.
Yeah, it's like you said there, like for like turn-based RPGs, you probably don't need 60, but if you see it running at 60, you're like, wow, this looks really good. Because I played Persona 5 for a little bit in 60 FPS on my PC. And goddamn, did it look so good. It looked refreshing to see that game in 60.
How? Was there like a mod hack or something?
It was an emulator.
Oh, they have a PS4 emulator going?
No,
wow.
this is probably the PS3 one.
Yeah, PS3 emulator.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
So, yeah. Seeing Persona run at 60 frames... You want to see Persona run at 60 frames.
Yeah, see, that's such like a visually like appealing game because there's so many colors and menus and like, oh man.
Yeah.
I hope they eventually release that on PS5, or if you play the PS4 version on PS5, that it like ups the frame rate. Because man, yeah, that seems like a game that's worth playing in 60 frames for sure.
Yeah, I didn't see like something Atlas would do. Atlas would be like, oh, here's the PS5 edition of Persona 5 Royal for $60.
Yeah, the Super Royal version or whatever.
Yeah, that's what they'll do.
Although, I mean, we didn't talk about this, but Sega recently said they were like blown away at how well Persona 4 Golden sold on PC. So they're like, I think the words they used were aggressively pursuing more ports to PC. So it wouldn't shock me if they put Persona 5 on PC in the next 6 months or something.
It's inevitable. It's going to happen. You're going to see Persona 5. You're going to see Persona 3. You're going to see all the Atlas games come to PC. It's inevitable at this point. They'd be crazy not to.
Oh my god, no, it sold too well.
Yeah, there's a clear demand for it. You're gonna do it. They're gonna do it. It's only a matter of time. And when they do Persona 3, we don't know if it's gonna be FES, regular Persona 3, Persona 3 FES, or Persona 3 Portable,
or Persona 3 Remake.
That would be cool. I hope they do some. They do some magic hybrid, because obviously Portable had more content, or I don't know if it had more content, but it had the female protagonist, but
and more
it had the little icon, like the menus, so you couldn't explore. It was all menus, right?
Yeah, I'm saying what they could do is do a same release, a separate game. Like when you go into it, like you'll have Persona 3 Portable, and then you'll be able to choose Persona 3 FES if you want, or just FES by itself, so you can experience that story if you want.
Also, the cutscenes in Persona 3 Portable are like slideshows. Like
they are.
That is annoying. That's a shame. That's a shame.
Remember. But yeah, the Atlas is going to be in some money, and I was telling people, because people were like, I was telling people on Twitter, like, if they price it appropriately. But I kind of feel like Atlas and Sega, they're going to be dicks about it. They're going to know how much the demand is, and they'll know we'll pay $30 for Persona 3. Because I would.
Oh, you think they'll price it at 30, not 20?
I swear they will price it at 30.
Why do you say that?
Because they're greedy. That Atlas is greedy, and Sega is a little bit greedy as well.
How much
I think they will get away with it if they do it.
How much was Golden?
Golden was 20. Okay, but 20. I think that was just testing the waters. They were just like, oh, this is like a 10-year-old game. We're gonna test the waters. Make it $20. We'll see how it goes. But goddamn, that overwhelming demand, please. And especially if they add stuff to it, forget it. They'll definitely make it 30. Like settings, just add PC graphical settings or something like that. That'll be enough for them to make it 30. that should be the default. That should be default, but that'll be enough to push it to 30. Because it's crazy, because they can make it 35 and I still would pay for it. So it's like, yo, I think they can get away with it, which is crazy. But because I don't think it's going to be enough of a backlash. No, there will be a backlash. This will be a Pokemon Sword and Shield situation all over again. People will bitch about the price, but everybody's still going to buy it when it comes out.
But then they're going to say, "Hey, you get Persona 3 FES and Persona 3 Portable." So
yeah,
2 games.
They'll say something like that. Yeah, so it's like it's worth it for this one in particular. Yeah, I can see that.
But then Royal's got to be full price, right? 60.
Oh, absolutely.
Oh, yeah. Most definitely.
There ain't no way they're putting that at 50 or 40. That's going to be full price.
That one will be fun for the mods. I'd be curious to see what kind of mods they start doing for.
It's interesting because they're modding Persona 4 right now to put Persona 4 dancing models into the game.
I saw that. Yeah, it looks weird because then the other NPCs are not that quality, so it looks really weird.
Yeah, I say, you know what? I'll be okay with this if it's just in battle. If it's in battle, fine. But then I start going out to the other NPCs doing the social links, it'll look weird.
Unless someone wants to get real crazy and redo all the NPCs, but
yeah, okay. I'm not gonna go that far. That'd be nice if they did, but I doubt it.
Yeah, no.
All right. Spaghetti asks, during quarantine, were there any goals you set out to achieve?
Yeah, I wanted to get back. I mean, that was one of the reasons I got back on doing my YouTube channel. So I didn't have any specific goals. Like, I will say this. I was hoping to hit 10,000 subscribers by the end of the year. And I'm way past that.
you're gonna hit 20,000 by the end of the year.
Probably more than that. I'm almost thinking I might hit 25, but Pelvic better look out. She's at 26. I could catch her.
That's really good. That's really good. I haven't set myself any goals. I set like real life goals and I crushed them for the quarantine. But
that's good. Like what?
Like saving up money, basically.
Nice. That's important.
Yeah,
I mean, some people didn't have jobs, so.
Yeah, but like the having the need to not commute to work has really helped saving money.
Oh my God, I can't even imagine. Yeah.
Aren't you lucky?
Sorry. I don't know when I'm going back to work either, so I'm definitely think I'm staying home until the end of the year.
That's good. You can count on not having to pay gas and whatnot.
Yeah, for a while. Yeah, it's been sweet for a while. It's like I put like a full tank. I fill up my tank like once a month. And even then, I don't even need to put any more gas in there.
I got
Pretty nice.
Quarantine has not set any goals because quarantine hasn't changed my life at all. So
yeah, that's what I feel. Yeah, for you. Yeah.
So my life is still the same. The only thing I really miss, is going out to dinner, hanging out with friends.
Yeah, I was telling my friends that like, yo, we need to hang out. I think we're clear. If everybody's not sick and you haven't been sick for a while, we can hang out. We can go somewhere and eat out because there are some places that are like doing like dining outside.
Mm-hmm.
So we could do that. But actually, now I think about it, one person on my squad, they got sick. But
that's not good.
Yeah, no, he had it. He got it, and he recovered from it though, so he's okay now. But they might be a little bit cautious about hanging out with him still.
Just like a quarantine, keep away.
Yeah, exactly. But I'm saying like his girlfriend would have got sick by now if that was the case. So
that's true.
Yeah.
Well, hopefully, I don't know. The right before this podcast went live, there was a breaking press conference. They're doing new treatment techniques. They're taking plasma from people that already recovered or whatever. So hopefully, we might start getting some better treatments.
Yeah,
that'd be cool.
I
also hope a second stimulus package coming.
Yeah, I need that. I haven't made any money in like a month, so I could definitely stand to get some of that stimulus money. That's for sure.
I definitely want that.
I just want to add it to my savings,
I know, right? Exactly. I just want to put it in the bank. I'm like, yeah, that's what I need.
Sorry, Taylor.
Hey, I mean, it was good, while I was getting that extra 600. But now that I don't have that extra 600, it's like, all right, well, we have to start getting some projects now again. So that's been a little tricky. Although we have a couple lined up, but
it must be hard because you have to go in person places, and people don't want to do that.
Yeah, I gotta say, South Carolina, at least where we're at, it didn't hit quite as hard. / people are a little bit more okay with it. Like a lot of restaurants are open, but like half the tables you can't sit at because they have to space them out or whatever.
Exactly, that's what everywhere should be like.
Yep. But you still have, a lot of places they'll take your temperature. You have to wear a mask. So they're still at least being careful. See,
that's one thing I want. I want tests that are like that give you a result within like minutes.
We got some work to do on that. I don't know.
I think those exist. They're just not. They're just not widespread. Because I think Joe Rogan uses them on his guests.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
I probably recall. I'm not 100%, but if we had that, if you want to go inside and you just get tested and it's instantly say negative, positive, then you should be able to do. You should be able to go in, do your stuff. Whatever. Let's talk about games.
Yeah.
Will Kreplin asks, Game prices have skyrocketed during social distancing, especially with systems like GameCube or limited print releases from niche developers. What do you think will happen to the market going forward? Will any of the market growth be sustained, or will people go back to other hobbies once things get back to normal? Have prices been going up? Because I have not realized that.
I don't really pay attention to like old games like that, so I don't know.
I know I can't find an Xbox One controller right now because everybody bought them up like before the quarantine. Because I need a new one because my 2 Xbox controllers they drift a little bit. And I was going today. I went to like 2 Targets and I went to 2 GameStops and I could not find one Xbox One controller.
That's interesting that it's the Xbox One too. That's really interesting.
Yeah, I think it might also be the other controllers as well. Because now that I think about it, I didn't see any PS4 controllers as well.
Interesting. There are old games that have had high prices for a long time. Like, he mentioned GameCube, like Fire Emblem Path of Radiance. That game is insanely expensive. Like, I want to say it's probably at least 150, $200 if you go on eBay, just because it never got re-released and it never got like an HD version. It never got released digitally. So, and with how popular Fire Emblem is, I'm shocked if they're not already working on this. They should, but they should do like a Radiant collection or something, because those are like sequels. Like there was Path of Radiance and then Radiant Dawn on Wii. They should release those as like a double pack for like $40 on Switch. That would sell like that.
Only 100, 130, 150. This is nothing.
Nah,
There's nothing. There's nothing like there's nothing like Tales of Destiny where it's like 200, 250, 300. I mean,
or Valkyrie Profile.
Yeah,
I
Valkyrie
looked at
Profile
for
is
the
so
video.
expensive now.
It's like $250, $260 or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really expensive.
You should have held on to it, and you could have gotten that much.
I was desperate at the time. I was broke. That's the only reason I sold it, is because I was broke. I wasn't like, you know what? I'm just going to sell my games for no reason. It was because I needed money. But yeah, you're right. It would have, if I could have saved it. But to answer his question, is it going to keep going up? I doubt it. I mean, a lot of these things will die down, especially
when
things start going back to work.
Yeah, when things start opening up again, which should start happening soon, I bet, within the next couple months, then things will snap back into production. I get the feeling of.
You know what's? Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
What I'm saying. What's gonna happen is November 4th, all this is gonna go away. All of it.
Oh, here we go.
Gone.
So anyway, video games, right? No, I think so I've noticed this. I don't follow the trends a lot, but something interesting that Metal Jesus, I don't know if you guys know who he is, but he has a pretty big retro YouTuber.
Mm-hmm.
But he said something interesting that like prices for systems start going up as people who played those systems as kids get old enough to buy them. So for example, like when we first started getting jobs, I mean, like, remember when I bought all those PS1 JRPGs when I was in Korea?
So that was a long time ago.
I mean, that was 10 years, right? But I was like 24, 25. I had this disposable income and I loved it. So I'm like, oh, I got to buy all these games. And so now kids that like grew up with like the Wii or the GameCube, now as they're older and have jobs and have, dispensable income, those prices are probably going to go up. Like freaking Atari, nobody like who can't those, you can probably buy those for like 50 cents, $1 a game. Like those aren't expensive. But a lot of I just think as people get older and they have bought everything that they want to buy, I don't think those prices will hold. I think those go in cycles.
What I need is to find an original Xbox, so I can play my original Xbox games.
Why?
Because I have Unreal
Mech Assault, Mech Commander,
Mech Assault 2, Unreal Championship, only Xbox only games. I want to play those again. And Mech Assault 1 is not playable on the 360, and Mech Assault 2 runs weird on 360. So it doesn't run correct. That's the only reason why. And I had two of them, and you remember me having one at the apartment, right?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, who was that?
That was me. I had it. I had one, and I had two of them. One was at my house or at my dad's house when I was in the apartment, and I tried to use them again, and they both broke. They did both of the CD drives just don't work anymore. I'm like, what the fuck? What happened?
That's annoying.
Yeah, I don't know. Just like this PS4. What's wrong with your CD drive, you pro?
What's wrong with your face?
Next question. The Proletariat asks, what is the most you've ever paid for a JRPG, and was it worth the price?
That's a good question.
I think maybe something was like a special edition was like $100 or something like that, and I may have paid for it. But I think that's the most I ever spent. Like
I think that's about the same, because I think when I bought my copy of Suikoden 2, or Suicune. I don't know how the hell you say that, but that was when I went on my JRPG buying spree. That was the most expensive, and I want to say it was like 90 or 100. Yeah. But I usually don't buy collector's editions, so I don't think the last one I bought was for the original Ni no Kuni, and I don't remember how much it was, but either of those two.
I don't think I've. The only thing that I spent. There are the collector's editions. Which one didn't I? Like the Tokyo Xanadu collector's edition was worth it because of the figure. Same with the Tales of Azealia. All the Tales collector's editions are usually worth it because of the models that they give you. Bravely Default wasn't worth it. It was collector's edition. I think the Ease 8 collector's edition wasn't worth it. That's why I'm trying to sell it. Not the game, just the collector's edition, because I'm not using it. It's all packed in the box still, perfectly like you're not used. And I'm like, why did I even buy this? I just bought the game.
Yeah, it's one of the reasons I don't collect collector's editions anymore.
Yeah.
It's just all the stuff inside is useless. It's like I'm not about it.
Like I got the Dragon Ball Fighters collector's edition. I sold that. I sold the stuff, the extra stuff already. I was like, I don't need this. When I did my whole room rearranging thing, I was like, it's just gathering dust. And I just asked my friend, "Hey, do you want this?" He's like, "Yeah," and he bought it for like $50.
Nice.
So yeah, I don't believe in collector's editions anymore. That's a wrap.
You don't believe in them?
I don't believe in them anymore.
The only collector's editions I get are the ones that I want to support the company for, like Falcom. I would get those, and then Tales of games, unless it's a game like Tales of Vesperia. Then I didn't. I looked at the collector's edition. I'm like, I don't really care, so I'm just gonna get the regular edition.
I just don't know what to put all that stuff, like all like the collector's edition. Like, where am I gonna put that? Like, am I gonna hang it up somewhere? Am I gonna put it on a shelf somewhere? And like, who am I trying to impress with all this stuff? Like, I'm good. It used to be good in the past to get like collector's editions because then I could do an unboxing and get like a good amount of views for it. But now it's just like I don't care anymore.
But that's one thing I want to look at. eBay.
The only upcoming collector's edition I want to get is the of Rice and Ruin one, because it's not as expensive. It's only $60 for one, and two, it comes with the full soundtrack, which I love. I hate when collector's editions are like, oh, the CD selection. It's like either give me the whole thing or don't give me any of it, because this who actually loves 5 songs. You know, if we really love the music, we're either going to go buy the whole thing. You know, like Nick bought that Super Final Fantasy VII remake thing, right? You have that?
That was 7 discs, and it was worth it.
I want to get it. It looks super. I mean, the music in that game is amazing. But like, here's my perfect collector's edition that they're never gonna do. Give me the game, give me the full soundtrack, and then give me a Nendo of the main character. That's it. That's all I want.
Actually, yeah, pretty good. Yeah.
It's an awesome idea. Why don't they do that?
I don't know.
You know what collector's edition actually did that? The Tales of Symphonia HD collection.
Oh, are those like actual Nendos? Or are they like their own?
I think they're like their smaller version of Nendos. They're small, like the small. I forgot what they're called. I think it's the same company, but it came with the complete edition soundtrack for Tales of Symphonia and Symphonia 2. The whole thing. There's a whole soundtrack, and they've never done that since. It was only for that one.
The only reason I'm thinking they don't do that is because it must be expensive to license all the music, even though they should own it because they're the ones publishing the game. But I don't understand why they do those CD selection songs. They're the worst.
Yeah, it might be because like you can get more money from just buying the CD separate, buying the CD with the full soundtrack separate.
That's why they're limited collections, people. Limited editions, collector's editions. Get with the program.
They're amazing editions. Nobody's ever seen editions like collector's editions like this. They're the best. They're the greatest.
I don't know why I started doing a Trump voice in that, but I just did it.
That was good.
But I mean, the point stands. They're limited collector's edition. Why would they care if they have a whole soundtrack in it when they could sell it later separately? People would
But
still
it's
buy
like-
it.
But it's like those selections, they just suck. They're not like the good track theory. It's not even one or two good tracks.
I have so many of them.
Well, my point is not that the songs are not good. It's like, to me, it's a waste. It's like, use the money that you're using to make those CDs on something else. And maybe it's just cheap to make them, and that's why they do it. But I would rather get like a bigger art book or something.
These are all selection CDs. Except for this one. This is the Lunar. What the hell? The Lunar Complete soundtrack, what you get with the PS1 Special Edition, which doesn't sound anything like the game, by the way, which is weird.
Weird, huh?
Yeah, Project Cross Zone, Metal Gear Rising, Divinity. Here's the Tales of Xillia music CD. How many songs are there? There's 12 songs. 12 songs on this. And I think the whole soundtrack is like 40 or 50.
So, like, are you ever actually going to use those CDs to listen to songs?
No, because I usually own all this already.
Okay.
The Muramasa Rebirth Abridged soundtrack, 5 songs. The Conception 2 original soundtrack, there's 10 songs. I don't know if it's the whole thing.
Nah, that's definitely not.
I don't even know how much is on here. There's the Cold Steel 2 music selections, the Cold Steel 1 music selections. This one's actually the full soundtrack, the Grand Blue Fantasy one.
Really?
Yeah, and same with Rune Factory 4 one. That's the full soundtrack.
Yeah, see, I don't get it. Why do sometimes they do and sometimes they don't? It doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, it's probably because like they have a plan to sell the full soundtrack at a later date, so they don't put the full soundtrack in there, so they can get maximize sales on the soundtrack.
Yeah, it still pisses me off.
Yeah, it does. It makes me mad. When I see full soundtrack, I'm like, yes, that's a collector's edition. Like with the Doom collector's edition. Isual, if you become a billionaire or millionaire, what JRPG schedule or franchise would you want to reach out and put money into? I would do a Legend of Legaia 3, Dragoon 2, Shadow Hearts 4, Breath of Fire 6 proper.
Yeah, he said that if you became a billionaire and you can fund a fan translation, is that what you're saying?
If you could fund like a game.
Oh, any game?
Yeah, like what would you put your money? What franchise would you put your money into to make another sequel?
Shadow Hearts.
Shadow Hearts 4.
Really? Shadow Hearts? Okay. Why Shadow Hearts?
Stop mentioning Shadow Hearts. Gosh. I want to play it.
Either that or a remaster of Shadow Hearts 2. That's what we need. I would probably maybe if I was a billionaire, yeah, I'll probably give some money to Nipponichi or whatever they're called. Nipponichi? No, shit. Image Pog.
Oh, okay.
Oh, is that what them? They went out of business.
Yeah.
Yeah, there were some games that I really wanted to play from them. And I think they made Arc Rise Fantasia. I wouldn't mind another Arc Rise Fantasia game.
I would walk straight up to Namco, give them like $5,000 million and like, hey, bring us to the West, you assholes. And that's it.
That's it.
I wonder if it's that easy. Like if you can just if you had the money and you could just call up Bandai Namco or the offices and set up like an appointment with like some type of investor meeting or something like that and be like, hey, I will give you $50 million. Remake this game or remaster this game. Would it just be like, okay, yeah, you funded it. All right, yeah, we'll do it.
It's like remaster and translate. Just sub it, don't dub it. Tales of Destiny remake. Tales of Destiny 2. Tales of Rebirth. That's all you need. That's all you need to do.
Actually, I would be curious if I somehow won like the Powerball or something like that. I think that's one of the things I would do if I got a good chunk of money. Way down the line, like I would have to have like a couple of 300 million or something like that in the bank, just chilling there, and I'll take 50 million of it to help out the people.
Don't you wish there was like a billionaire streamer, right? That's all he has $1 billion and he streams, and then he's like, "Hey guys, so which company should I invest in and give him much money?" That would be awesome.
Like I would like to fund like a JRPG that has like the budget of like a Grand Theft Auto or a AAA game or like a Mass Effect or something like that, or Final Fantasy. Like just really make the graphics, but it's like anime style. It's like an actual JRPG, but it's huge budget. Like
Sure.
how I would love that.
Like if you had a JRPG and it looked like Guilty Gear or whatever, the new Guilty Gear.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, something like that. Look as good as that. Yeah, I would.
That'd be awesome. For me, my answer is probably obvious. What I would want first, give me a remaster collection of Tactics Advance, and Tactics Advance 2 on PC, PS4, Switch, PS5. Put it everywhere.
And make Tactics 2, damn it.
Exactly. Give us a real Tactics 2. Let's have it look awesome. Let's have it look real good.
It's just like, if you make this correctly, I'll guarantee you millions of sales. That's all you have to say.
Yeah, that's crazy if Square Enix would do something like that. Maybe it's not that easy of just funding the game for the like 50 million that they need. They would have to need to see like, is the game going to sell afterwards, even after we pull it out. So, I could say Shadow Hearts, but is it really going to sell even though they got the money they need to make the game? They'll probably look at future projections and say, no, it's not worth it either way.
Who published Shadow Hearts? I don't even know who made that. Was it a Koei Tecmo?
Midway didn't make it, but they published it, I think.
Yeah, they published it.
But Shadow, what you do is you say, here's all this money, make this game. I'm going to shill the hell out of you and my YouTube channel.
Well, that's if my YouTube channel is blown up to that proportion. I'll have to be like a Markiplier or a Maximilian or something like that of JRPGs.
There was 3. What the hell? There's 3 publishers for Shadow Hearts. Midway Games, Xseed Games, and Infogrames.
Weird. That is weird.
Actually, yeah, that does I want to say my logic does make sense, because if somebody gave me like, I don't know, like $70,000 and they said, hey, go get this most expensive car you can, it doesn't mean I can make the payments on it or something. But then again, the car will be mine. Never mind. I don't know what I was saying.
I mean, you would
But
make
like a house would be different, right? Like you'd have to pay the property tax and all that.
Yeah, okay, yeah, that's probably that's a better example.
But maybe you can. You just don't know. Maybe the property tax is like, $300. You don't have to live in California, which is like $1,000 million. You can live in a different state.
It's true.
Okay. Next one. Okay, this one's new. Hookah LaConk. There we go. Asks, here's a question for everyone. You're spending 10 years in prison because you were caught playing video games at a time where they are now illegal. Who do you pick out of these JRPG protagonists to be your cellmate? Shulk from Xenoblade, Justin from Grandia, Titus from FF10, Zidane, Luke from Tales of Abyss, Lloyd from Tales of Symphonia, Yosuke from Persona 4, Junpei from Persona 3, and Ryuji from Persona 5. Which one did you choose? I like how you chose all the goofy friends from the Persona series.
I looked at that one earlier. I would probably say Zidane, only because he would probably have the best chance of helping me break out.
That's the first thing I thought of. I was like, Zidane would probably keep me entertained for a while, and he would probably use some shit to get me out or something like that. Or like we can get out ourselves and then like come back later or something like that without being detected.
You should have. Which Luke from Abyss? Which one?
Spoilers. Oh, we talk about like, end of the game, beginning of the game, end of the game, Luke, or is that like
bitchy asshole Luke or normal human Luke?
Oh, okay. Yeah, hell no, not bitchy asshole Luke. He'd just be sitting there all day complaining like a little bitch.
You would want Shulk because he could read the future and he could escape prison.
But he needs the Xenoblade to do that, doesn't he?
Exactly. He needs the knowledge. Yeah. Does he have the knowledge?
Yeah.
The Marauda's always with him, so
I just realized that at the end of the game, he probably always has it or something like that. What were the other choices?
the Justin from Grandia. Why would you want a 14-year-old kid with you? Titus from FF10, Luke, Lloyd from Tales of Symphonia, and then all the goofy friends from the Persona series.
Okay, so Titus would probably be boring as fuck. I ain't gonna lie. I don't know the Grandia guy. I'm trying to think of this people who will keep me entertained if I can't escape. You know.
Yeah.
So yeah, the guy from Grandia, I'm not too sure about him. I haven't played the Grandia 1 or 2 or whatever.
I mean, you wouldn't want to be with a 14-year-old kid, so.
Okay, yeah. Wow, it's weird. What was it? Every single like goofy friend from Persona 5?
Yeah. So Yosuke from Persona 4, Junpei from Persona 3, and Ryuji from Persona 5.
I'm definitely not picking Yosuke. He seems a little weird.
And not Stupe?
Yeah, I'm definitely not. No, I picked Junpei. I would pick Junpei. I think Junpei's cool.
I think Junpei's the best out of the two of them. Or three of them, because he has the best arc.
I also think Ryuji would probably like bitch a little bit too much after a certain while. He'd just be complaining.
Why am I in here? I'm a phantom thief! Just screaming it out.
So the jail cell and cause a whole bunch of problems, get into a whole bunch of fights, and I get into a fight because I'm a cellman. Like, nah, we good. That's how Junpei, he's chill, he's relaxed. He'll probably break up some fights, you know. Yeah, I'll go with Junpei. Freaking Yusuke would have me posing weird while he makes art.
No, different Yosuke. That's Yosuke, not Yusuke. Yosuke.
Yosuke. Okay. Yeah, Yosuke's pretty much the same thing as Ryuji. He probably just bitch a lot. He probably wouldn't do anything to keep me entertained. Yeah, you know what? Nah, we're good.
Fair enough.
Pick Shulk or Luke.
Which Luke?
Obviously, the good Luke.
The good Luke.
From Will Kreplin, now that you've reached the end of this episode, why not stay in the Zoom call and just go ahead and record another 1 or 10?
Because there's this small thing, I don't know if you've heard of it, it's called life.
Yes.
You know, to live it.
There's also this thing called You Don't Ask Enough Questions, and we ran out, and that there's only a certain amount of news that we could talk about.
Man, tell them like it is.
But that is the last thing on the questions, so that will be it for our episode. Thanks for listening, watching, whatever you are on. Leave a comment. Please rate on iTunes to give us more, exposure. And join our Discord. Our Discord is down in the links below. And it's awesome because we have a lot of fun people to talk about JRPGs and anime and stuff. And Taylor's there as well, so. And same with Shadow, of course. Yeah. Everyone's there. And yeah, we'll see you next week. See ya.
Peace.